Hey there, Kiss fans. This is Baco from the Cobras and Fire podcast. Here to tell you this, people. When I want to listen to a podcast talk some Kiss, I typically check out the Cobras and Fire archives and listen to my favorite person of all time, me. But when I'm down in the dumps and I need something to pick me up, and I have listened to literally every other Kiss podcast on the planet, I check out the latest episode of the Shout It Out Loud cast, featuring your hosts, Tom and Zeus, two guys who can clearly take a joke. With that, you're listening to the Shout It Out Loud cast with Tom and Zeus.
Bam! That's right. We're back with another episode of Dome Damage, the show where anything and everything is on the table and the table gets smashed. And we're back with one of our favorite recurring topics here on Dome Damage, how terrible Rolling Stone lists are.
Bad Rolling Stone lists.
Yeah. Exactly. This one's going to be rough. What are we doing this time, Zeus?
So we're doing top 500 albums, their article they did.
Of all time.
So we haven't looked at the list. I've never seen this list. I don't expect it. I will tell you without looking, I expect I will see some Pink Floyd. I'm expecting some Jimi Hendrix. Like maybe Jay-Z.
You're going to see some real, you're going to see an attempt.
Radiohead.
You're probably going to see everything from our overrated list.
Oh, Bruce Springsteen. How about 15 Beatles albums? Yeah.
But then you'll also see Rolling Stone try to be cool. Like, ooh, we'll put in a, fucking Boogie Down Productions album. even though I do like Boogie Down Productions.
Yeah. Let's this go. All right, okay. Let's start. We'll look at number 30, Jimi Hendrix. Are you experienced? There you go. So
welcome new listeners. So to clarify, anytime we do these Rolling Stone lists, we just decided to start at like 30. Especially with a list of 500, it was we know you guys have lives and so do we. So we usually start at 30 because that's when the good stuff that people know well start to show up. I mean, so
get
30,
to the good stuff like Paul Stanley. I'm sure that album will be in here.
I don't know if a Kiss album is going to be in the top 30 or the top 500. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Well,
what's 30? Are
you experienced Jimi Hendrix? I mean, of course, a Hendrix album is going to be there. They love Hendrix. I'm not a guitarist, so I get that he's the great guitar player that he is, the greatest, maybe. I don't know. Purple Haze is on this. Manic Depression, The Wind Cries Mary.
It's a great album.
Yeah, it's a great album. Okay. I mean, I expect them to put this on. And I'm sure more than anything, it's revolutionary when this came out. People are like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this asshole?
I'm actually surprised it's this low, to be honest with you. But we'll see.
Number 29.
What do we got? Oh, geez, here we go. We should have, what we should have done? We should have done like a blind prediction because here we go. 29 Beatles White Album. Number one on my overrated.
I'm not going to say anything. I mean, the song's on While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
That's a great song. That is a great song.
Back in the USSR. Mm-hmm. But there are other stuff in here that I'm just like,
What do you mean back in the USSR? Yeah. Settle down.
Just
enough.
Yeah. Lennon pursued his hard-edged vision, the cynical wit of sexy Sadie, and happiness is a warm gun, as well as the childlike. Like, dude, are we talking about music?
First, let's move to the next one because remember how I told you that Rolling Stone's going to try. Remember how I told you that. Remember how I told you Rolling Stone is going to try to be hip and cool. Number 28 is Voodoo by D'Angelo. What? That's all I can say is what? The 28th greatest album of all time is from D'Angelo. Look, I would rather have the 28th ranked restaurant be D'Angelo's subs. Okay?
I just have a D'Angelo sub in front of me.
And for people
I have an Italian D'Angelo
Zeus,
sub.
That's better than this album. Yes.
Oh, my God.
Come on, Rolling Stone. Stop it.
On the way, we're back from work.
Oh, here we go. And they redeem themselves with number 27, a Mount Rushmore hip-hop album for me. This is just one of the greatest ever. Seen it in every list under the sun. Came out when we were in college. Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers by the Wu-Tang Clan. Now, if you're a hip-hop guy, rap guy, you know this album. It's incredible. Wu-Tang's insane. The sampling, the beats, the rhymes, the rhythm, the rapping. If you're not into hip-hop, you're going to be like, what the hell's Wu-Tang Clan? I'm not going to argue with this one. This album's no skips. Perfect for me.
This is a critic kind of love. I never got into Wu-Tang, but
yeah,
you know, people always talk about it. So
yep.
I'll go. Oh, Rolling Stone, typical Rolling Stone.
Of course.
Patti Smith's Horses. More like a horse face. Dude, fucking people love this Patti Smith. I'm sorry. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. I see this name and I see this particular album all the time. I don't get it. That's all I can say is I just don't get it.
It's Rolling Stone. That's all.
Yeah.
Here we go. I knew this is another critic, darling.
Okay. Look, again, I know that everybody knows this album. Tapestry by Carole King from 1971. People love this album. Carole King, great voice. That late 60s, early 70s. I get it. Whatever. Everybody knows the song It's Too Late and I Feel the Earth Move. Those are big songs from that era. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to be, having a barbecue at my house and be like, guys, I was going to throw on Tapestry while I'm cooking your burgers. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a critic, darling. Tapestry.
Exactly.
Carole King Tapestry has always been every female empowerment, like, oh, women and all that stuff. Rolling Stone, critic, darling. All right. I mean, I'm not surprised it's there.
Guess what's next? Probably the only Beatles album that I really would give any time to, and that is Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band from 67. Again, surprised it's not higher. I mean, if we already have 2 Beatles albums in the top 30 so far, we started at 30, we're at 24. We got 2. There's going to be a handful more. But I don't know. Whatever. What else can we say about the Beatles?
With a little help of my friends, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band.
By the way, Elton John's version of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is better. Send your hate mail to shoutoutloudcast@gmail.com. Go ahead.
It's just, what can we say? We don't want to sound repetitive. It's the Beatles. They're going to put them in here.
Right. More critics. Go ahead. What's next?
The Velvet Underground and Nico.
The only thing I know about this album is that Banana cover. That's it. That's all I know.
The only one to tell you about a Joe Bonanno is a Joe Bonanno.
I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah, that's an inside joke if we ever had one.
I know. Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah. The other day I was listening to Velvet Underground. And Lou Reed's fantastic voice.
Oh.
He helped him with the elder. Oh, then that solves
that's not a positive thing.
All right. Number 22, the Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die.
I am not a Biggie fan. I love most of the stuff from the 80s and 90s. I've told my son, because he loves current hip hop 80s, 90s stuff. I told him, he's like, well, how do you not like Biggie? I'm like, want to know why? This is going to sound terrible. It's because he sounds fat. He sounds fat.
What do you mean? Was he like out of breath or something?
No, it's like when he sings, he's like you could tell he's fat, and I'm just like it's not good. I can't do it.
Was that Biggie? No, it's Fat Joe. No, it's Heavy D and the Boys. So you can tell those 3 from other rappers because
Fat
they're fat.
Joe. Fat Joe. All right, you called it. from 1975, Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen. Now, if you're going to put a gun to my head and make me listen to a Bruce Springsteen album, this will probably be the one. This is when he was, everybody knows, Thunder Road and Born to Run and stuff. Jungle Land's is not a bad song, but I don't know. I just can't do it. Probably the reason I can't do it is because the Bruce Springsteen that recorded Born to Run in 75 is not the Bruce Springsteen that exists today. Kind of like the Paul Stanley that recorded, Dress to Kill in 75 is not the same Paul Stanley today. So I guess it's kind of a similar thing.
This is just, we should have just put the same comments on for everything. Critics' choice.
You mean like the next one?
Didn't they call Radiohead?
You called
Number 20, Radiohead, Kid A. I've never even heard of this album.
Stop. I hate that it's so predictable. That's the thing that's annoying about this list. I'm waiting for a curveball or something to be like, wow, this is great. I can't believe they put this in. So far, without predicting the exact album or the exact placement on the list, we're doing good right now. Radiohead at number 20. Yep. Ooh, okay. Now, I know this album very, very well from start to finish because it's my son's favorite artist. We play it all the time on the ride to and from school. He's gotten me into him. From 2015, Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly is number 19. Now, I'm not going to try to sell this to anybody because you either know it or you don't. You're either a Kendrick fan or you're not, or but I love it. I think Kendrick's a fucking genius when it comes to hip hop. So it doesn't surprise me that it's at 19. He's a critic's cultural phenomenon type of an artist. So I could see it being this high for that.
Never heard of it. Don't know it. Yeah. Fuck it.
There you go. Next.
Here we go. The other fucking critic. God. We knew this coming.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Number 18 at 1965, Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited. No one cares.
Okay.
People listen to this show right now are probably like, why do these guys talk about music? What are they doing right now? Well, we're here to bitch.
Yeah, we're on a roll here. I don't own one of these albums yet. So, actually, I own the White Album. What am I saying?
Okay.
And Sgt. Pepper's. So I own the two Beatles albums.
Okay. All right. Number 17 next. Here's another album I know, courtesy of my son who loves Kanye West, and I've heard this album a lot, from 2010. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West. Again, I'm not going to try to spend a lot of time on this because you either know it or you don't. You like it or you don't. It's one of those albums that's out there. If it wasn't for my son, I wouldn't even know it. But I know it. It's okay. I actually like Kanye. I know he's a psycho. He's a wacko, but he's entertaining. He's good at what he does.
Yeah, he's good at what he does. He sucks. Number 16, another critic darling, The Clash, London Calling. I don't have hatred towards them. I just, I never got into them.
Yeah, I mean, look, this album cover is one of the most famous album covers in existence. You see this poster everywhere, even nowadays. It's still, you see it in like movies, backgrounds. The song, the title track is pretty good, but yeah, the Clash is just not a band that I ever really got into. But they love the Rolling Stones, and the critics love them.
Yeah, they're better than the Sex Pistols.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Number 15, one of my all-time favorites. I had the cassette in high school. Number 15 from 1988, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back by Public Enemy. This album, when this album came out, it was like, what the fuck for 88? And now, 2023, this album is still what the fuck. It's an absolutely incredible album. Chuck D, Flavor Flav. Again, you either like it or you don't. You either know it or you don't. If you're not into hip-hop, it's probably not going to ring a bell, but I think everybody knows who Public Enemy is.
Yeah, fuck them too, and their Elvis hate. Fuck them.
Oh yeah, you don't like that. Yeah, you don't like that lyric.
Yep.
Motherfuck him in John Wayne.
Number 14, The Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street.
All right, I'm not going to argue with this. I love the Stones. This is a great album.
Yep.
Maybe I'm a little surprised it's this high, but it's a great album. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't have the most of their hits. Like big hits, but it's album wise, it stands the test of time. You got Mick Taylor jumping in on guitar, and some Tumbling Dice is fucking great, but it's a good album, and so I will allow that to be there.
Yes, it gets Zeus's approval.
Well, here we go.
Number 13 from 1967, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You, from Aretha Franklin. Again, this is Rolling Stone trying way too hard to be hip and critical. I'm not denying Aretha Franklin's talent or how great this album may be. I've never heard it. But come on, number 13. Stop it. Stop it.
I mean, some people could just listen to somebody sing the phone book. So I guess that's what this is. And they got some good songs in here too. And, you know, it's Aretha Franklin. So Rolling Stone's got to fucking bow down. That's what they do.
Of course. Wow. Okay. Little surprised that this is this low. Mm-hmm. But it's Rolling Stone. So maybe I should be surprised that it's this high. And this is 82, The Legend, Thriller from Michael Jackson. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised this is only at 12. I still love this album. I've always loved Michael Jackson.
First of all,
it's an incredible album. We don't need to tell you how great it is.
The opening comment here is one of the stupidest things I've ever read.
Read it.
Michael Jackson towered over the 80s the way no superstar before or since has dominated an era. Not even Elvis or the Beatles. That's fucking nonsense. The Beatles dominated the 60s and Elvis dominated the 50s.
I think the reason
Jackson had Prince, had fucking Madonna, had the MTV era. He wasn't more dominant than those guys were in their eras. He wasn't.
I just think I don't know if it's nonsense. I think it's a little bit extreme of a comment, but I think I look at this as just he had the help of MTV, all those videos incessantly being played over you couldn't escape them, and radio. Music was different in the early 80s than it was in the 50s and 60s. So the domination, maybe you felt a little bit more, but I'm not going to say he dominated more than Elvis or Beatles. So I'll agree with you with that. But I think the way he dominated, quote unquote, was just a little bit different because of the way music was consumed in that time, I think. Number 11, big shock. We called this. You'll probably see more from 1966. Revolver from the Beatles. Whatever.
This is like an album. So not singles. And I always hear Revolver. And it's funny when they do lists of the Beatles, you know, a lot of people put this as their best album ever.
Yep.
So
we'll see, because I think the other one's going to be in the top 10. It might even be, no, not top 10. It might even be number 1, because we haven't seen this list. All right, speaking of number 10, again,
you knew this was coming.
Rolling Stone just trying way too fucking hard here. We are talking about the top 500 albums of all time. This is not a bad album. I've heard it. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill by Lauryn Hill from 1998. She was in the Fugees. The score by the Fugees is one of my favorite rap albums of all time. It's fantastic. Lauryn Hill, great talent, great voice. Number 10 all time Rolling Stone. Let's be serious. That's silly. That's just silly to me.
Beyond stupid. All right, let's go to number 9. Knew this was coming.
Oh, God almighty. Bob Dylan, 1975, Blood on the Tracks. We knew this was coming. Give me a break.
They just can't help themselves. They have to do this. They have to be like, well, hold on. We got to make sure we pencil this many Beatles, this many hip hop, this many Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, Radiohead. Here we go.
Yep.
This one I get. Okay.
Number 8 from 1984. It should be higher because it's Purple Rain by Prince and the Revolution. But I'll give Rolling Stone credit for putting this high, put it in the top 10. Top 10 of the 500 of all time. That's nothing to sneer at. So I'll take this placement. We did an ARC episode on this. I love it. Zeus loves the movie. He thinks the movie is a beep beep. He loves the movie.
Yeah. Number 7, I expected this to be here. It's one of the greatest selling albums of all time. Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. This I get.
Yep, me too. Great album. I love Fleetwood Mac. I love this album. So this is good. Yeah. Not surprised.
Anytime you can get like multiple members singing and doing stuff, and I like it. It had all the shit that goes with it. Oh, number 6.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm surprised by this. I honestly, I don't know how to respond to this because it's 1991's Nevermind by Nirvana. I don't know if this is too high, too low, if it's perfect, or I'm surprised that Rolling Stone put it here. I don't know. What do you think? This is your album. This is your band.
Should be higher. The impact, the music, the lyrics, the fucking riffs, the vocals, the drums, and the bass. Fucking instruments on this album was awesome. It's just changing, very changing.
Great quote right here. Great quote. The album shot up from the Northwest Underground to kick Michael Jackson's Dangerous off the top of the Billboard charts and blow hair metal off the map.
You can't say Nirvana's Nevermind without saying hair metal, right?
Yep.
That's all it gets to, and that's why it becomes polarizing.
Few albums have had such an overpowering impact on a generation. It's true. Like it or not, it's true.
Number 5, The Beatles' Abbey Road. I don't know. Is it their best album? Beatles fans, Beatletards? You tell me.
I've never owned a Beatles album in my life. I don't know. I know their music, obviously. You can't escape it, but I couldn't tell you what's good or bad or indifferent. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know Beatles albums enough to know, oh, that's on that album. That's how much I know about the Beatles. But I do know the singles and stuff in the charts. Like Here Comes the Sun's one of my favorite songs by them. And Something, which is done a better version by Elvis. But that's my opinion. It's fucking fantastic. It's the Beatles. They, of course, are going to put it. Oh, yes, number 4.
Good one.
Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. I have this. It's fucking fantastic. It's got so many great songs on it. I mean, the guy's a genius. Everyone's got to give him that. It's got a lot of incredible songs. Isn't she lovely? Sir Duke, which is awesome, and
awesome,
which is in every fucking movie in the 90s and 2000s. He did everything on this album, and it's just, it reminds me of the Chris Rock special when he talked about, can't we give Stevie Wonder a peek? The man wrote Songs in the Key of Life.
He's right. This is a great album. This is a great album. So I'm not going to fight anybody with this one at number 4. It's a great album. Oh, here we go. Again, you knew it. We've had Carole King. We've had Patti Smith. Well, let's have Joni Mitchell Blue at number 3.
Yeah. When is Paul Stanley going to come out and talk? The Blue album really sparked a little difference in the style of music that we were accustomed to, but it blew my mind. Okay, Paul Stanley.
It blew my mind so much. I wrote, Read My Body from Hot in the Shade.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, God, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can't say anything about it because I really don't listen to it. I don't give a fuck about Joni Mitchell.
Right, me neither.
With their big buck fucking teeth.
Right.
Oh, number 2. The Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. Love it.
Yeah, you love the Beach. You love the Beach Boys.
These guys so underrated.
Yeah, these guys almost made my overrated list.
Brian Wilson is a fucking musical genius. That's all I can say. And then the Beatles stole everything that they did on this album and started changing the way they do their recordings and everything. And they had a little bit of a competition. My favorite thing is always like Mike Love will be like, yeah, then the Beatles, Dude, stay out of the conversation. You have nothing to do with you. It has all to do with what Brian Wilson was doing. And Lennon and McCartney were like, how the fuck did he come up with that? And then they were going back. What did you do besides going and surfing safari? You didn't do shit. Shut the fuck up and stay on the side. Yeah.
All right. So hold on. Now don't jump ahead. Have you seen what the number 1 album is? Did you jump ahead?
No, but let me finish. Okay. One last piece is God Only Knows is the most incredible thing. I'll never forget that part when they played it in the middle of the Wonder Years. Oh, so beautiful.
Okay. Don't scroll ahead. Everybody who's listening right now, Zeus and I don't know what number 1 is. Okay. We have not scrolled. I'm going to make a pick. You're going to make a pick, and then we'll see if either one of us got it right. What do you have an idea of what number 1 is? Because I do. I do not know what number 1 is. I'm guessing what it is. I don't know what it is.
It's either a Dylan or a Beatles album. That's all.
Okay. I'm going to go with Rubber Soul by the Beatles for my number 1 pick. And I have not seen the list.
Okay. Oh, no.
Oh, damn. We're both wrong.
Marvin Gaye, What's Going On?
Fucking fantastic album. And here's my proud papa moment, passing on my love of music. I'm mentioning my son again in this episode. He has this on vinyl. I don't. He does. That's how much he loves this album.
Yeah, Marvin Gaye is just in a class of his own. Unbelievable, beautiful album. I mean, this is just a personal decision. If you like this as number 1, I have no problem with it.
Right.
I have no problem.
It's an amazing. I mean, if you like soul music, like R&B type stuff, like with just, I mean, his voice. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight people with this at number 1. I mean, some people are like, maybe it should be number 10 or number 9 or number 22, whatever. But I'm not gonna get into a fight with people about this. It's a fantastic album. It's a cultural album. It's a massive, impact on when it came out in 71. So Rolling Stone, I'm a little proud of you that you stayed away from, the Beatles, the Dylan, like that kind of stuff. So that's kind of a nice surprise at number 1.
At number 1, they stayed away from it, but
exactly. Let's take a quick look. A real quick look. We like to do this. Let's look at what number 500 is. Okay. Let's just take a quick look at what number 5. Of course, here you go. Zeus, you said it with the critical suck ass.
What is it?
Number 500 is "Funeral" by Arcade Fire. What? Huh? If you keep scrolling down, you will see Dangerous Toys' debut album. I'm kidding.
What the fuck is 497?
Yeah, we're not going to go through the whole album, but we are.
But I just turned to it when I went to go look at
various artists. The Indestructible Beat of Soweto, the greatest album ever to be marketed under the heading World Music. This 1985 compilation of South African pop. Oh boy! All right, Rolling Stone, relax. Just.
I don't even want to look at this. I'm just going to get upset. George is getting upset.
Here's what I want to look at real quick, because we do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to see where some of these albums that we talk about, like Zeppelin. Okay, everybody talks about like Zeppelin 4, right? Maybe being like the biggest.
You're gonna look through a fucking scroll through it for 500 albums.
No, because my guess is it's pretty high. My guess is it's pretty high.
It's not worth fucking scrolling through. Anyway, there's no Zeppelin. There's no hard rock really anywhere in that list.
Nope.
They're the typical Rolling Stones in the top 30 at least. I don't know. They probably sprinkled some in there. Someone they'd be like, "Oh, we put them in." Okay. Anyways, list fucking is brutal. Any final thoughts, Tom?
No, unfortunately it's typical. We like to do these Rolling Stone lists because we like to bitch about them. This one, I think we bitched a little bit more than normal. Some of these other ones, whether it's top singers or we did an episode on their soundtrack list. This one, it's disappointing, but it's typical Rolling Stone. It's not surprising.
Yeah. What do you expect? Till next time. Peace out, Girl Scout.